welcome to another RSR. Tonight we're reviewing Inter Miami CF 1, Toronto FC 1, MLS 2025 Week 7. Toronto FC draws on Domingo Futbolero. They get the draw. They probably should have won with that uncalled handball, the offside goal, and the VAR check. Both were right. All three goals for Miami should have been taken away. And Toronto should have been given a penalty late on with Dominguez getting pulled down, the handball. They missed a couple of things, pro refs, to make sure Miami at least got a point. But Toronto played a solid game. They really did. And they deserved more than 1 point. Sadly enough, they're playing Miami in Miami, so do with that what you will. Inter Miami CF 1, Toronto FC 1. La Domingo Futbolero de la MLS. Toronto empate, Miami in Miami. With that being said, goals were scored as follows. 45 plus 2, Federico Bernardeschi. Insigne gets the assist. Bernardeschi has the ball. He just taps that ball past Drake Callender. It was greasy. There wasn't much power to it, but it rolled in. There's a goal. 0-1. Settle 1. Toronto has the lead. After the 2 disallowed goals, first half, of course, Segovia scores an offside goal because Suarez was offside on the play forward. Messi scores off of a foul that helped him score. It gets checked on VAR, taken away for a foul, so it's 0-0 up to halftime, stoppage time. Bernardeschi scores, takes the lead, but 45 plus 5 over the 4 minutes given because of Bernardeschi's goal. Messi scores, takes a shot through the legs of Gomes past Sean Johnson, 1-1, 1-1. But before the goal was scored, there was a handball by Lujan as the ball played down and should have been taken away for a handball in the build-up, but it didn't. So at halftime, we have 1-1, 1-1 medio tiempo. Toronto drawing. And honestly, they deserved better. I'd say they deserved better. I think they did give up on the plays that were taken away. So luckily the refs didn't totally screw them. But even if this game was 3-1 or 3-2, they didn't get embarrassed. They played a really good game. They were strong defensively. They played really good offensively. They had a lot of chances. Corbianu had some really good chances. He showed flashes tonight. Brynhildsen had his moments, especially in the first half. Insigne looked really good tonight. Bernardeschi, dual man of the match, but we'll get there. Toronto was solid tonight. They were really good. They stepped up to the challenge. They really stepped up to the challenge of playing Miami. They really did. And you wish that they could have done more. If you were Toronto, you wish they could have won. That they probably should have won. But the second half, they have the late penalty, 2 penalty shouts. Dominguez pulled down the handball before that as the ball comes through off the shot. Deflection, but it looked like a handball. They should have had a penalty there. Dominguez gets through, gets pulled down on his debut. I thought he looked pretty solid as well for the time he got. This team is starting to show a lot of positives. 2 straight draws against the 2 best teams in the league coming into this 2-week stretch / each game. Now Miami's down under Columbus because of this draw, but they're still Miami. Toronto should have won. I really believe that. Toronto played a damn good game, and they're showing a lot of positives going into these next couple of games. And maybe they're just good against the hard teams, weirdly enough. Well, a lot of their games have been against the hard teams, but things are starting to come together for them. Things are starting to come together for Toronto. And you like that. You do, because this team is starting to figure things out. Was it a pretty start? No. Is it still a pretty start? No. 3 points after 7 isn't great, but we're still above Montreal. We're still better than Montreal. If you look at some of the equalities, we're better than them. So when we play them at the end of the month, we're the favorite. But that's later to go. But we are the favorite, I would say. But Toronto did their job. Sean Johnson made some really big saves. I'd say man of the match, dual man of the match. Bernadeschi, Sean Johnson. Bernadeschi for the greasy goal and all the work he put in, which he always puts in work, but he got a greasy goal that gave us a point. Sean Johnson made a lot of saves to make sure we got that point, even if we looked better offensively than we did last week. He still made a lot of good saves, especially early. Some big saves from Sean Johnson. He's having a really good couple of weeks. For me, probably could have gave him dual man of the match last week with Petretta. Some people said I should have. I think, yeah, probably you're right. But again, this week I will. Dual man of the match, Bernadeschi, Sean Johnson. They both deserve it for multiple reasons. They both earned us a point, and we should have had more. This game was Toronto's. Yes, the stats lean more towards Miami, but in the end, to me, I think Toronto had the better offensive chances. I think they had their moments to take the lead and win this game. They chased it. They almost got it. They defended well. I see a lot of positives from these past 2 weeks, but especially tonight. They went to Miami and drew Miami and honestly should have beat them. And yeah, no, the VAR calls were right. And honestly, the Messi second goal should have been taken away too. Toronto should have got a couple of penalty shouts, or a penalty off one of those two shouts as well. So pro refs definitely tried to push it for Miami once Toronto got up. But in the end, they held on, held firm. Honestly, should have won. But who says they score that penalty? Who says they don't allow one after if they took away the goal by Messi, the second one? So who says? But Toronto played a damn good game. They played a damn good game, and I'm damn proud of them. And honestly, Miami was kind of crazy to play their big guys for 90 minutes for both games. I know the Champs Cup game is in Miami. They don't got to travel. But like, if it was 1-1 and Miami rotated, I'd be like, yeah, this ain't that good of a result. Toronto did their job. Better than I expected, but they did sort of their job. No, Miami played their guys, except Drake Callender. They did take out Ustadi for Callender, but that was about it for rotation. And this is a good result. A really good result for Toronto. I'm proud. But I love what I saw tonight. I think Toronto had their best game of the year. I think they were solid. I think Miami, they're still going to win. I'll give them that. They're still going to win against LAFC at home and find a way to get through to the semifinals. I don't see them screwing that up. 2 bad games in a row, and this wasn't a loss. They're going to show up. They should have rotated their guys, but they're going to show up on Wednesday. I think they were pulling punches to a certain extent, which probably led to this result. I think they were pulling punches, but then why just not rotate? Like, that's weird. But whatever. I think Miami will get their job done during the Champs Cup, which I think that's what they truly care about. But it is kind of questionable with their last 2 results in a row. LAFC losing them 1-0 in LA, makes sense. Drawing 1-1 to Toronto when Toronto probably should have won and not rotating at all. Okay, that's kind of pushing it. But either way, full-time stats are as follows. 23 shots of 12, 9 shots on goal to 3, 66% possession, 32%. 34%, my bad. 34, yeah, that's a 4. 34% possession, 628 pass to 321, 91% pass accuracy to 81%, 13 fouls to 8, 1 offside to 1, 1 yellow card to 1, 0 red cards to 0, 10 corners to 3. For me, Toronto should have figured out a way to win. It sucks they didn't. It sucks that Miami got a little bit of help from Pro to make sure a draw at least got their way, but a point for Toronto that honestly should have been 3. I really believe that. This was a really good performance. Build on that, and Toronto's going to have a pretty solid season. It's early, and that's a good result. Miami, I'm a little bit worried now for Wednesday, because I do want y'all to win that game because it helps me on views because Messi still would be going. Just by numbers-wise, I know it would be good if you win, so I want you to win on Wednesday, which, who's to say, right? With that being said, I'm a little bit worried now. a little bit worried. You really shouldn't be letting Toronto almost beat y'all with your guys playing. If you rotated, it'd be like, okay, it's not as good of a result it looks. This was a really good result for Toronto. They should have beat them, and they didn't. So with that being said, if you like this video, like it, share, subscribe. You know what it is. Tell your friends. Hit that like button. Hit that subscribe button. Hit that bell notification once subscribe. Send some chats on the live streams. Comment on this video. Put this in playlist. Share friend and family. All that great stuff. I'll see you Tuesday for Champions Cup. That would be 2 games, 2 lives, 1 review. I think that's Tigres, LA Galaxy, America, Cruz Azul. Tigres, Galaxy, Cruz Azul, America. Then Wednesday, LAFC, Miami, LAFC, live RSR. Thursday, we got Chelsea versus Legia Warsaw, Chelsea, live RSR. Gold Cup draw, live RSR. So that's what next week looks like. 2 Champs Cups on Tuesday, 1 review. 1-1, just Miami Wednesday, Chelsea game, and Gold Cup draw on Thursday. Monday off. So I'll see you Tuesday. Enjoy your Monday. Enjoy your new week. Get it good started. Get it good started, and see you Tuesday. I'm Ron, and I'm out. Peace. Love it. Let's go.